Okay, so today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be investigating an issue I've been having with the builds of my Windows-based containers. They have been working pretty okay for the past couple of months since I last modified them, but I've recently started running into issues where the installation of, in this case, Vulkan Runtime, but previously it had halted on another further down actually the chain, where it got down to the download and installation of libsodium. But it's actually gotten even worse recently, where it's doing this at the Vulkan runtime. I got to investigate and I got to fix this. So to begin with, I am going to have to start up a VM of mine with Windows 11, which has a container runtime on it. So we'll get that going, and then I will log into it in a second. That's better. That is much better. Okay, so I should still have from a previous run, or when I previously worked on these, this should be hanging around inside here somewhere. LS. Let's have a look. Build images. Nope. CD build images. And go Windows, we'll go Windows 2019. That's the oldest one. That's the most likely to have problems. And that's the one I have from here, right? 2019. Yes, great. So what do I have? Docker? It's okay. Let's try it. Build-t test. We'll be using the first file that's here from the current. Okay. I'm not on. Right, I need to be on Windows. I need to be in an administrative terminal for some reason. Fine. Okay. Give this one a go. Okay, so we're going down to the Vulkan runtime. And I'm presuming that this is going to be replicating a reproduction of this, where it'll happen for, or maybe it'll just work on this machine, but not on the actual production machine. Or it will actually reproduce the issue. That's not great, but also great. Okay, so I need to, okay, I'm going to therefore have to open up this actual script and start going line by line to try to figure out what is actually going on with it. 2019 install scripts. Let's have a look at what's going on in the Vulkan runtime here. We silently continue. I set up the security protocol, then okay. So let's actually try this in just a regular PowerShell terminal, shall we? Or I could just do this down here. Maybe not. That's a bit too small. I'll just get another PowerShell terminal. Just a regular one. That's isolated from the other stuff I'm trying to do. Great. Let us set the security protocol on this. Actually, no. I won't do that. First, I'm actually going to try to pull this in. Let's see, is there any number thing? Nope. Okay, let's just try this. Okay. Does this work on a regular terminal? No. Really? Invoke web request error not found, file not found, or access is denied for Windows 1.4.3.0.4.1 not found. Okay. This is not what I was expecting. At what? Okay. Let me try to cut it down to this. Can I see this bit? Let's go there. Does this exist? No. Okay, let me get... They may have moved it around. Let's try to just get the whole zip. It's gone. Okay, I need to figure out how to, where they moved it to, or what happened. SDK. Okay, great. SDK Windows 1.4.3.04. Where is this hiding? Did they just move it up to something like this? Is there no latest? They may have reorganized things to add the ARM64 version. Can I just copy this link address and pull this like this in one go? Yes. Okay. Can I do that in script form? Just the thing I need. Wait, no, hold on. I'm not looking for the SDK. I'm looking for the runtime. Whoa, hold on. It's not what I wanted. Where did the runtime go? Did they get rid of the runtime? Or did they put it... Hold on. Oh, no. Oh, that may be it. They only have a latest SDK, but they don't have a latest runtime. Interesting. I mean, that's also a different URL entirely as well. And they renamed it. Vulkan Runtime Components.zip, and they just have that instead. Why would they do that? Just because SDK is like a point release would be my guess. Okay, hold on. Is there any... At what point does this SDK download? 1.4.3.04. Okay, I want to like see like... Is this real? No. This part real? No. I may just have to start doing... Yeah, no. I need to do the whole thing again. Okay. Fine. Fine. We're going to have to start pulling specific numbers as opposed to just saying latest, which is going to be annoying. But whatever. Okay. Let's check if I can actually invoke web request and grab this. Yes, I can. Fantastic. So if that's the case, I'm going to have to start. Okay, what is this? Is also to use. No, so this is probably also busted as well. Hold on. Is this one busted as well? Is the SDK using the latest thing broken? No, it's not. Okay. That's incredibly annoying. Why? Other than to screw me somehow. Why would they do this? So I'm going to bet like on the next release, they're going to have a runtime again, and then it's going to automatically just work again. And it's just because they have a split point release that it's annoying. This is annoying. Okay, you know what? Maybe relying on latest versions, not quite the greatest idea. Maybe I should actually put specific versions or something in place, like I do with most other things. Like I'm pretty sure if I pull like libsodium, I have a default version. Yeah, libevent. Yeah. So if I can change it over to this, it'll probably work. Okay. Okay, that's not great, but that's what I have to do. So let me grab the URL once again for this, copy the link address. It's kind of maximize that out. So what points do I need? I need a thing here and there. Okay, so we'll try something that just says, hey, Vulkan version equals 1.4.304.0. We'll substitute that in. If you can remember, no, that is how you do it. No env of that, okay. That's there. So you got 2 points, you got that in the location, the folder structure, and then finally in the actual zip we're trying to pull. I changed the name of the zip out, so that's great, that's good enough. And we'll put that in and see if that allows us to get any further. Okay. Let's go back to the administrator terminal. Let's try this one. Wait, do I need to set anything else? It's a $sign. Okay, no. Give that one a go. So the new one is copied. It's in. We'll have to see how that goes. All right. In the meantime, as that happens, I'm going to grab this out. Do I not have a copy? I do have a copyright. I just need the parameter stuff. Version. Okay, that looks to have been worked that way, so that's fine. That's good enough there. Version, we're going to have to change out. What is with the slightly wrong location for highlighting? Do that. We'll grab the version. One and two. Strip that out. Okay. These other ones will continue to build. So that one is okay. The other one that was an issue was down here, I believe. So before that one broke, was this one, libsodium, which failed when it was downloading and extracting the source. So that's not the terminal I wanted. Thank you very much. I wanted, do I know how, there it is. It's under a different. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted 2019. This is where I am. Now I go into install scripts. And then I have a look at, I don't actually have a compiler here, but that doesn't matter. It actually failed when it was trying to pull the source, correct? Okay. So if I don't set the security protocols, does it work? So I don't actually want that, the 7-zip extraction. I just want this. Paste it anyways. Okay, that doesn't. So version is 1020. We'll put that in 1.0.20. And it downloads just fine. What was the problem then? I do not know. Let me have a gander back at this. It failed on downloading and extracting source. Maybe it's the same thing as the Vulkan Runtime. Just some kind of spurious issue. Okay, hold on. Is it actually still here? (1020). It's there. All right, I don't know what the issue was then. Let's see how this one's getting along. Still going. What's the performance? Why is it so slow? %? Why? Why do you only have 2 cores? Right, Windows can only do up to 2 sockets. This is not the correct way to have done this. Doing 12? Whatever, 16. We'll do that and apply it on the next one. Yes, thank you very much. I know. Okay. Let's restart this then. The new speed. Make sure they apply. That's great. Start up. Log in. Try that again. With a much, hopefully, faster tasking. We have 16 cores now. Thank you. Much improved. I need a administrative terminal again. For containers. And then I need to Windows 2019. Back up to Docker build, go that. Let that one start running again. Meanwhile, okay, 1020, this looks to be correct. We do that and get the signature and give that a real quick look. Okay. Downloads, what we got? Sodium in the installer from earlier. Let's check the minisig. Hashed, okay. Nope, that's correct. So that's not it. Give that a go, see how this is going. Now it's only 22% instead of 100% CPU. That's much improved. Oh, I didn't give that much memory, did I? There should be more than enough for this, though. Okay, I guess there's nothing for it but to wait until it hits back to here, which is going to be quite a little while. I am actually curious as to why it's only using 2 cores to do this. I remember there being like on Windows. Why is there only 2 CPUs? Why would it default to only 2 CPUs? That's terrible. Is there like an option to check? Okay, well, maybe for run there is. Maybe not for build. Let's just see if I can actually get something like CPU. Okay, CPU count. Yeah, okay, so for running, there's a CPU count for Windows only. Because of course there is. It's probably something to... Is there, actually, isolation, right? We can change between, yeah, isolation between technology. So right now, I think I'm doing, oh, no, okay, this is probably, because I'm doing 2019 stuff on Windows 11, I'm going to bet that if I go to Windows container compatibility, something like that, version compatibility, the problem I'm running into is, yeah, doesn't support, okay, no, hold on, that's server OS. I'm on Windows 11. Yeah, no, I do not support process isolation of 2019 images on Windows 11. Although, like, Windows 11 is nice to actually have process isolation for 2 rather than 1, because if, like, Windows 10 could only, actually, Windows 10 couldn't do any of them. Only could do Hyper-V, the VM-based isolation. Okay. With 2019, yeah, you could only do the version. And 2022, you could only do the version. And 25, you could do 2 versions of process isolation. So that's an improvement. I'll grant them that. Especially on Windows 11. So because I'm doing the 2019, okay, that's my bad. But Docker build help. Can I do like CPU count on this? I can do CPU count. I don't know what the completely fair scheduler is about. Shares, CPUs. I don't know why CPU count is not on this. Faster. Codium. So I can actually test. Codium. Oh my God. Why? Why does search is terrible. And I can't go, I have to go directly into here, do this. Okay, great. Now I can show more options and actually open with the application called Codium here. Thank you. Minimize that, bring this one over. This is what I want. Bring that. We're going to rearrange things. So we got up to, what was it? Bullet physics. So I'm going to move this one, which was the failure one, up a whole bunch to here. And we'll try that. So great, we're up to libsodium. Libsodium is now trying. Let's see what's going on. So again, refresher, it got to downloading and extracting source and then failed at that point. Which would mean, what happened to libsodium? So it got to this point where it's downloading and extracting the source and maybe removing the older install, but didn't get to the point where it was trying to install and copy the stuff through. So yes, and it's doing the same thing right now. Perfect. Issue reproduced, what I need. Notably, if I try to run this locally, let's see what happens, right? Maybe it's just something that's just because it's inside of a container that it's a problem. Windows, long-term server core this, cd install scripts. Try libsodium right here. I mean, it's going to fail on compilation because I don't have execution policy stuff. Let me grab a hackery to get around that. Go to the community chocolatey. I could never remember this. Install chocolatey. It's like you get to set an execution, this set execution policy to bypass the scope of this process. So I'm going to need that. Copy that bit, put that in. I don't need all the rest of that, thank you. I just need a small bit. Thumbs up. Run it again. Okay, great. So we get to the point where we're downloading and extracting the source, and it fails. Great. Why? And it gets, because this doesn't actually have any compilation. It's just extracting the stuff, and then. So okay, does it actually? Is it because like it gets to this point? It's just the failure point. This equals 1.020. Copy this again, we'll paste it in. Great. Does this download? No. Could not create SSL TLS secure channel. Okay, is this because... Okay, now we'll try with this security protocol stuff engaged. Does this still happen? Yes. Why? This is new. Why? Again, this only started happening when I tried to start the build last month. At the beginning of, or at the beginning of this month. I forget. Whatever. So, let me do this, where I can do like, what is it called? The Qualis. Okay, okay, a bit of context. Libsodium is a library that deals with cryptography and security and that stuff like that. So if they're going to be, I'm working on the assumption that because TLS 1.3 came out, their site has probably been updated to just do SSL 3. Or TLS 1.3, sorry. So I want to test the server of https libsodium.org. Well, that's a single colon, please. Thank you very much. That's going to happen in the background. And I'm going to see if I can, if I do a TLS 1.3, comma, and then try to download it, if it works. Yes. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to update this with a TLS 1.3. Is that it? TLS 1.3? Okay, and this is almost done. So like I'm going to bet, oh, it's not actually close to done, that when that does complete, it's going to have, like the only TLS it's going to be supporting is 1.3. And that's the issue that I need to use here to resolve it. And if I go back to the administrator of here and I run this with the updated script, which has TLS 1.3, oh, I got a bunch of stuff here. I have this. Do I have anything else in here? Delete permanently. No, I guess not. I guess not. What's going on in here? Okay, delete it. It's open in power. It's downloading the file. Not anymore, you're not. Okay. Back to this one. Libsodium, run again. Okay, let's have a look. So their site now supports TLS1.3. If we check down here, indeed, they have limited it down to specifically TLS1.3. And that's it. 1.2, 1.1, 1.0, and the olders are just all taken off. So that is most likely the issue. That was most likely just the issue. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to go through all of these and update them to add TLS1.3. Probably just remove the old TLS and TLS1.1. And it's going... No, it's not. Okay. So... Right. We'll have to change things up a little bit more. So, okay, TLS1.3 is a thing I can try. Oh, actually, no, what's the version? Hold on. PS version table. So I got version 5.1, whatever that is. And then what do I have inside of the container? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of like do this. Whoop. Actually, is there anything, any like entry point stuff I have down here? It does not look like it. Nope. So I'm going to, I'm going to just take all this. Control X that, and we'll just, okay, we'll build up to that point. Then I want to run it. IT, do I have dash v? No, there's nothing to dash v, just test. It'll run PowerShell, it'll take me in, hopefully. Oh, right, it's slower to start up because it's a Hyper-V VM based thing. That's my bad. I'm hoping it's going to start up. I'd be very disappointed if it doesn't. Okay. It's doing something. Bring me, okay, I'm in. LS, okay, great. I'm in here, I can go to C install script. So there's the other things that were done previously, and I can check. Now, if I do, okay, first off, is this is an, so I guess this would make sense because that is, we are talking about Visual Studio, sorry, not Visual Studio, Windows 2019, Server 2019. So this is like 5 years ago. And what do I have here? I don't know what the third number means, but it is definitely lower inside of the container. Okay, I need to see what PowerShell supported TLS. How do I list? Oh. Okay. So this one has what? Thanks, I guess. That's not what I'm... Nope, too much. I don't know what I'm looking for TLS 1.3. Oh, no, hold on. I can figure that out. On Windows 10, I'm looking for AES SHA-384. GCM SHA-384. Okay, so it's probably this one. TLS AES 256 GCM SHA-384. So this is probably it right here. And then I can do the same thing here to see if get TLS cipher suite. Let's see what we get on this side. In the container, we have not quite the top. No, it's there. Okay. Okay, let's try version equals 1.0.20. Almost. 1.0.20. We end it, and then we try to do the web request here. Maybe it'll give us a bit more of an explanation. Okay, first off, it should fail because of the TLS SSL. Great. Then we add in these. I'm just going to take a wild guess. I'm just really thinking that TLS 1.3 support has just not been added to this whatsoever. Right. Because that's what happened here, right? Let's re-exit this one again. And not that. Version equals 1.0.20. Fantastic. Okay, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't actually know anymore. Windows PowerShell. Okay, hold up. What? If I reset this to just TLS 1.2 and 1.2 and below, fails, right? Seems to. Yeah. And then I just do add 1.3 back. Then it's going to start working again, correct? It's going to go through the other, yeah. Okay, is there some way to specify in a shorthand way what ciphers are available? 1.2, this, check TLS settings. So this is likely my stumbling block. I have a site which only allows me to download on TLS 1.3, and I have a container that's on 2019 that does not support TLS 1.3. It's probably something deeper than just PowerShell. It's probably like deeper in the in Windows somehow, and I can't just update it separately. Update so Windows Server 2019 TLS 1.3. I'm not the only one to check this. Okay. It's not supported on server or client. I do not like that but we have to rely on Microsoft deciding to support certain critical security technologies, or in this case, it's deciding not to, just because it's only 5 to 6 years old, since they typically release it like late in the year, like October, November. So it's only just over 5 years old, and they're already like just giving it up. Oh my God, I don't like these people. Okay. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to just drop 2019 server 2019 support from building at least of this application. I'm going to have to rely on. I mean, I have both Visual Studio 2019 and 2022 installed on both on server 2022 and 2025 because they do have runners for that. And they can use the 2019 via VMs. So like I'm not losing anything. I just like lose the ability to use my old Windows Server 2019 runner with process isolation, which is nice and fast. So that's one machine I'm going to have to convert or buy a newer server license for. But there's not much I can really do. Okay, so that's what I'm going to basically action is I'm going to remove 2019 support and then move on to whatever's next. So yeah, that's the issue. That's the issue discovery. Following through and resolving by just dropping support. That sucks. Okay, well that's it for this stream. So until the next issue pops up and I come back online, cheers. Okay, so a follow-up to the Vulkan Runtime install issue that I did 7, 8 months ago. I created an issue. Let's see. Okay, yes, I created this missing latest Vulkan Runtime issue. And basically said, hey, it doesn't exist when you have, let's say, a split like SDK and runtime that don't match. Like when both of these are available, then there's a latest version of this. But if there's only a version of this, then only the latest of this. And was told as of version 1.4.304, the SDK includes a runtime. You should not need to obtain the runtime separately. And secondly, we never published publicly the latest API for the runtime, so too bad. No, this doesn't go anywhere. So yeah, just too bad. So it's been 7, 8 months since then. 7 months since then. So let's see if I can actually do that now, because the whole time I've been updating versions manually by actually saying, this is the version of the SDK, this is the version of the runtime I want. So just to confirm, this is the one that's available right now that I have uploaded and built. So if I go to run this, and so I'm opening a container which was built like this, and I'll see in a moment. I'll run it in a moment. Come on, hurry up, let's go. Windows containers, super fast, great build, great dev experience, fantastic. Okay, cd workdir, I believe, and I'll just rm build directory. Yes, we're going to do -s*-b build -g ninja, and I'm going to have -d cmake prefix path is just C, and -d the bullet root equals C bullet, I believe, and the other thing I have to specify is -d build tests equals on, and -d cmake build type equals release. Great, do that. As part of the CMake grabbing all the stuff, it should say what version it is. So 1.4.3.13, which is, yeah, 3.13.1 technically, but whatever, that's good enough. We do that, and then I build. And then once that's done building, I'll test it, make sure that it runs, and then I will try to install the new version with supposedly the integrated runtime and run with that no problem. Okay, so let's do test. Let's make sure that, hey, the thing I was, the test, it still compiles, it still links, and it runs. There's a runtime available. Perfect. So let's exit out of that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebuild this container, but I'm going to move this to the end so it's easier to modify afterwards. Secondly, I'm not going to install the runtime, and then I'm going to change to the latest runtime. That, again, should include the runtime and should not need to obtain the runtime separately. Let's have a look. 4.3.2.1.1. 4.3.2.3.2.1.1. And let's kind of do that. Let's create a new tab for this. Build images. Docker build, isolation, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's do that, and I'll be back when that it completes. Okay, so that's built. 4.3.2.1.1. Let's go ahead and go back to the other tab and change this out for test. Test latest. Let's go. We'll rebuild the engine with the new SDK, and supposedly it should contain the runtime elements that I require. Okay, yeah, we got the new Vulkan version 1.4.3.2.1. So hold on. If I check Vulkan SDK bin, what I'm looking for is the runtime element of the Vulkan loader. So it'll be like Vulkan-1 DLL, which I do not see whatsoever. So I'm already kind of questioning this. -c build, get that to build, and then do a test. Okay. So let's do the test. Let's see. No, it doesn't work. This code CO135 basically says it couldn't find a DLL. So they have yet to, after 8 months, actually bundle the runtime with the SDK. So neither of these points actually stands. And they were the ones that closed it, right? Resolve the close. Added the comment. A couple of days later, resolved the closed. This is not great at all. Okay. See, this is what I'm looking for, like this DLL. I don't really care about the PDB or that, but this DLL is what I grab separately. Okay, hold on. Maybe if I go to the docs, maybe there's like something separately on the installer I can do. Getting started with the installer. Down here, install the SDK. Okay, here's the automated ways to do it. There are components. Maybe this is what I'm looking for. Intel binaries for cross-compiling. Okay, maybe this. Okay, maybe Vulk. Maybe this have what I need. So let me back up out of here. So again, give me all of this. Just install everything. I'm hoping at least one of these things will actually have it. Okay. Not seeing the x64. Why is that? Is it just not part of this? It's not a part. It's not a part of this. Oh, come on. Okay, I'll do it separately then. So everything is there, and then I do another one, which is com.lunarg vulkan.x64 capitalized or what? Lowercase x. Do that. Okay, we'll try a different location. I swear. -- root equals, or whatever, c - vk1. Great. Cannot select this, the x64 component not found. Okay, thanks, I guess. Is it capital X? No, it just doesn't exist. Okay, that's a great start. Okay, fine. The one that I do have installed, Vulkan SDK. What's in here? If I go to cd into here, great. And then go, hey, bin. What's in here? Does this does not have the Vulkan 1 DLL that I was looking for. Bunch of other stuff that I don't care about. Okay, what about the, what was it, bin arm, this? What's in here? Not in here either. Okay, maybe cd lib. Maybe this is a static library now. Maybe. Okay, back up a couple. Well, here. Command install everything, please. All of the components. Via this. We go into here. We undo that. We run it. Let's go. Okay, so that's finally done. Let's give that a go. Oh, oh no, I can still grab it from up here. Please let me do that. Go down to here. Do that. Visual Studio, SDK, come on. Okay, Vulkan 14321 with everything installed, correct? Sorry, it wouldn't be here, it'd be here. With all these extra things. Okay, we'll find out in a second. Okay. Do that, then whoop. Really? Oh, dash G Ninja. Okay, 14321. That's good. That's what I'm looking for. And we go build it, and then in a second we'll test and see if it's actually there. Okay, and we are no, it's not there. It's not static live. So there, it just didn't happen. Dang. And hold on, let me just double check that. Hey, I'm not crazy. This is the version with like the bin ARM64 stuff. So, Ellis, what's in here? Yeah, it's all here. Slang's here now. That's cool. But the thing I was looking for that I needed isn't. So it's just disappointing. This. Oh, come on. This just didn't happen whatsoever. Okay.